presenter, mind-body specialist, barefoot diva, and really strong social media presence. Her name is Claudia. Claudia's coming on with us. I'm going to invite her to tell us all about what she's doing, where she is, because not a lot of us have heard a lot of stories from Hawaii. So as I bring her on, it's not easy to get Biscuit into Hawaii. So it's one of my places with Biscuit I've not been to. I hear you. Hello. God bless. How are you?
Hey. Oh, it's so lovely. Thanks for thinking of us all the way over here in the
Of
middle
course.
of
Aloha.
the Pacific. Aloha.
We're finding you on which island?
I'm on the island of Maui, and it's the
physically where? Is this your living room? Is this your studio? It looks like a lounge chair there.
Well, it's my everything. It's
Great.
my house. It's my studio. Can you hear me? It's my studio. It's my massage therapy studio. It's now officially my new Zoom training center.
Mission control. All right.
So I'll give you a little tour.
Wow, no one's ever moved camera. If I move this camera, you never talk to me or look at me again.
It's a Pilates disc.
Wow, you have
the disc?
on a Pilates
disc.
So
it's working out really well.
Good. I'm looking at our comments because I like to say something about everyone who's checking in. You have friends and followers everywhere. Oh my goodness. Acting surprised. Asia hit. Listen, tell me this, Claudia, what is your current state of mind?
Well, right now I'm stoked because I just listened to everything and I was taking copious notes. I got really inspired now, almost like a mad person. Look at my handwriting. So,
feel inspired.
Very inspired, yes.
So how do your fellow islanders feel in general? Current state of mind?
You know, fortunately, we're a small community. We have about 150 or 60,000 people. People are really nervous, of course, because everything's closed. Restaurants are closed, gyms are closed, hotels are closed, and most of our economy relies on tourism. So it's very stressful, but you know, everybody's coming together, fortunately. And I know personally, I've been very blessed with support I've gotten from people on the island and my clients. And so it's, you know, it is what it is. We are just moving forward. Hopefully we're going to get things open at the end of May. And, you know, it's just a process. Every day is just, you learn something new. And then, you know, we're kind of stuck in, you can go surf, but you can't hang out on the beach.
Ah, interesting to know. Is it safe to assume that everything you're saying about for Maui goes for Oahu and all the other islands?
Yeah, as far as like the government stuff, yes. Right. As far as, you know, you have to wear a mask and there's a little bit of differences between like which parks are open and what they might allow, but definitely no gatherings over 10 and that sort of thing. Yeah. And they're really, a kind of like really against people coming in from the outside right now. So we're like, imagine you're on an island. It's like being on a cruise ship. Well, you know, you've lived on an island for years, so you get
Puerto Rico, Mykonos, Manhattan.
You're an island boy. I'm an island girl, so I totally understand. I just love being surrounded by water.
Sure. Yeah, it's important. It's positive, it has its cons. When Mykonos a few weeks ago had its first case, can you imagine in an island with 150 people in the winter, but thousands in the summer? Oh, it's just gossip by nature is something that sometimes
tricky stuff.
A lot. Tell me about fitness. Tell me about fitness in Maui and Hawaii. Gyms are closed, and what are people doing? Surfing.
Well, that's the thing about here is everybody's just going solo again, which is cool for a lot of people. But it's not vacation, so people shouldn't be loitering, just in case any of you guys are watching. Right now is the best time to stand because we do still have active cases here, so it's not good for people to be, well, here it is. You live on an island, you see your friends, you want to say aloha, I love you, give them a hug, and we can't do that. So it's it's for people like me who, and anyone who's out there who knows me, you know, I'm always giving hugs, almost probably to the point where people are like, hey, why is she giving me a hug? I barely know her. So,
Okay. So what do you see the fitness world doing of the Hawaiians who teach and train and work with the Hawaiians? What's going on?
we're going to get back to, well, everybody's home and doing online stuff. And again, everyone's a little bit nervous because most of our clients, if we work in the hotels, as you know, from working in the business, the spa business, some of us like me, massage therapist, fitness trainer, you know, the whole thing. I don't only work in a hotel, but people who only work out of the hotels are struggling more because the hotels are probably going to be closed for a while.
Claudia, when you say we're all doing online, what are you finding there for Hawaii specifically? We heard from Moscow, Sasha, in Instagram. He's doing his live classes and getting paid through Instagram because it's allowed.
I know. I was like, I can barely, like, dude, I just could barely get this whole Zoom thing going. But
okay, but you're doing Zooming completely.
Yes, I'm Zooming. I have clients, so I have an international client base. Most of my people come here from November to April, and that's when we tend to make our big money, those of us in the industry. So we were kind of still at the money-making part before this thing went on lockdown. Then we usually have a soft period where we're not really that busy, and then we're just working with local people. So that kind of, for me personally, has transitioned to them wanting me to train them online in Canada or wherever they are. Yeah.
Are you finding more clients now that you're not tied to any demographic or time zone?
No, because I am going through I didn't even want to do the whole internet thing. I was like, I'm going to just see what's happening. I don't want to teach online classes.
Yeah. Like my friend Roberto says, let me know how that works out for you when the bills come in. Yeah.
Exactly. My private practice is very different than most because I do integrate like light therapy and massage therapy and Feldenkrais and fitness and weights. So what I've decided, and hypnotherapy, and I'm a hypnotherapist. So I decided through some discussions with many of my colleagues that I should bring my HypnoFit program online. So that's what I'm doing next. That's my one big plan.
How do we find you and some of your programs? Because I'm hearing some people are thinking, wow, how do we spell that? How do we say that? Tell us.
HypnoFit.
How do we find you on social media, and what is HypnoFit?
HypnoFit is a combination of hypnosis and fitness training, but it's really a mind-body technique. And it's actually like waking hypnosis. It's self-hypnosis because really all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And basically teaching people about how it's a lot like regular coaching, but through a body experience and a little deeper than just telling people, you know, do it different. It has to happen through the body.
How can fitness professionals who aren't going to be that kind of a cure or coach or discipline practitioner gather something? Can you give us maybe one tip that can help all of us?
Right now, yes. At night, as you're going to sleep, you lie in your bed and you lay like in the corpse position or any position.
Are people still sleeping through all this? Aren't we just nonstop taking class?
You want to, as you're going to sleep at night, you want to reprogram your mind. And what you do, and that's where you can use the self-hypnosis to your benefit, especially now, because it can really help you sleep. It can help you get restful sleep, which people really aren't getting right now. And maybe just help them with their immune system or building up their body on a mental level and a physical level through their sleep. So when you're sleeping at night, you just close your eyes, and as you're falling asleep, doing like body part visualization or saying very specifically, very simply, I am healthy, my immune system is perfect, I sleep easily, or whatever it is for that, or whatever the program is for that person, because it has to be more what it is for you.
Positive.
And then just as you're going to sleep, repeat it over and over like a mantra. Or you could even tape it. That's also a nice way to do it as you're falling asleep, and tape it, or in your own voice. See, I train people to use their own voice. I am not really into those tapes where people listen from the outside, because if you tape your own voice, then that program gets in there a little bit better for your own self-talk. So that's one of the ways that I train people. So that's one tip.
Thank you for that tip on positive self-talk before bed. Some of the people that work with me get motivational mantras, meditations for morning, but I haven't thought about doing that before bed. And yes, it is probably best in our own voice. As you're looking around for insight and inspiration with community and communication, because you are now more ubiquitous than ever, what's inspiring you about our fitness community? What have you seen or heard of and thought, that's a takeaway, or that's something good for her?
It's so, especially after this, it's hard to pick one thing, but what you're doing, it was like when you found me, I was just like, what does he want? You know, like I thought I was following you and getting all your emails and stuff. And then when you said you couldn't find me, I was like, oh no. And then when you asked me to do this, I was completely honored. And of course, you know, just, of course I was going to do it. And then I started looking into the United Nations of, and then I was like, that's what we need to do.
Just talk and share, and not talk about here's a solution, but here's what some people are doing. Think about self-talk before bed. That's my takeaway.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do. You know, I want to tell you something. So I'm not going to say a poem. I had like stuff, and then I changed my mind. Which is, if you've ever worked with me, you know that's how I work. You got to go with the flow. So, but here's what I found, and I was going through. Now I have so much time. I went through this, and then you can't probably see it, but it's Ralph LaForge from 1990s. His Psychological Characteristics of Healthy People, Preventative Medicine Strategies for the 1990s. And I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, but you know, we're just not doing as good a job as we could be with people's immune systems. So our job as preventative healers in our industry is, like you said, to value ourselves more. And I know I'm one of those people who would do it for free, but I appreciate that message. And then I was kind of going back and looking at that, and I thought, we need to do it. We got to do more somehow.
Whatever you do, what hashtag fitness works? I don't know anybody at your grocery store, when you're allowed out, even in Mykonos, where our Demi told you the text for permission. When you get there, do they say take what you need? No, you gotta pay. We're professionals offering professional services for free. No, well, how do you specifically do it? Well, that's your culture, your demographic, and also your customs. You can't all of a sudden, if you've been giving things away, say here. But when you make something inspirational, show your refrigerator, ask for your contributions after 2 classes, and show people with you live in the supermarket, making the purchases that you couldn't do otherwise, and then your refrigerator full. Now more than ever, we're level and we believe what we see. We're not doing fake posts with airbrushing from the wazoo because no one cares. We're not trying to get laid right now or anything.
No, we're not. Well, I know. Who was the one who was talking about exercising from bed? I was like, there's only so much you can do by yourself. I was like talking to myself as she was talking, like, yeah, you can only take that so far. But anyway, I digress from that conversation.
Kind of inspiration here. Right. All right. Tell me this. Is there anything that from what you see out there? Yes, I'm following our mutual friend, Kathleen Murakami from Rancho La Puerta in Mexico. She's in San Diego, and she's posting all her classes in her living room with her cat, with her balls, her small cats, English and Japanese, and Murakami, you can find her, and I'd follow her because we want to find examples of what to do and not just
that was the original question, right? See, we circled back. My friend Carl has joined forces with another person to do online selling of like masks, and this is what was going into my next thing was masks and like health care kind of together. Like we were thinking about like people like you guys getting together with different communities, like a massage person with a trainer, and all that is so good.
About time. So Claudia, is there anything you don't miss from the outside world, or from life before in the outside world? Something you don't.
I don't miss the traffic. Yeah, but you know what? I'm excited about whatever's going to happen. I know that in the meantime, it's going to be really shitty. Excuse my language, but it's going to be shitty for a little bit. And I think people just need to come to the reality of it's okay. Shitty things have happened before, and we're going to
Right.
totally be okay. We just have to, you know, like Mark Cuban says, you know, we can do anything we set our minds to as entrepreneurs, as fitness entrepreneurs, getting our sources of income from different places and just thinking
I
in a
agree.
new way.
I agree. There's a saying that a lot of people say, fake it till you make it and believe that it will happen. And I'm not really about being fake now. We're more authentic than ever. Like I said, I'm not really wearing much below this shirt. But but I believe in saying faith what you want until we become what we want. FAITH, faith it, or faith what you want until you
Yeah.
become what you want. Claudia, I want to say from Hawaii, thank you very much for the
Mahalo.
present you've given us of your wisdom. Aloha and mahalo. And now that
Aloha.
we're in Hawaii and we're leaving you in Hawaii, we're so close to Asia, which is waking up. And we're going to go in Asia to Malaysia. Thank you. Let's stay connected. For all of my Facebook followers and fans watching and sharing, please write what you've enjoyed most. Your takeaway, like self-hypnosis, positive self-talk before bed is one of mine, from Claudia, please. And follow her Instagram and Facebook. She's an avid poster and she gets back to everything. Mahalo.